I watched my wife change for 2 years before hearing the word perimenopause.
Yeah.
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 Let's
2
define
years.
it. 2 years. 2 years. This episode is for the men who are living through perimenopause with their wives or significant others. This is what we're here to talk about. Let's get right to it.
Okay. So, as a certified menopause coach, I figured I would go back to my class notes.
You got your book.
I got my book from class because I didn't want to just, it's blah, blah, blah. No, let's just give the actual definition as to what menopause is.
Perimenopause, specifically.
Well, we got to go through the stages. We're going to go over menopausal transition.
Okay.
Because there's a process to this. Okay. So menopause is characterized by significant hormonal changes, primarily a decline in the production of estrogen and progesterone by the ovaries.
Okay.
These hormonal shifts are responsible for the various physical, emotional, and cognitive symptoms associated with menopause. The menopausal transition is typically divided into 3 phases.
Okay.
First up, perimenopause.
Okay. All right. Let's see what's happening.
This stage begins several years before menopause. As the ovaries gradually produce less estrogen, it typically starts in a person's 40s. Could be late 30s, y'all. Everybody's different, but can begin in their early 30s or earlier. Perimenopause lasts until menopause, the point when the ovaries stop releasing eggs. So that's that.
So, okay. That until that point. That's when menopause. Okay, gotcha.
Now, next, menopause. This is the point when it's been 1 full year since the last menstrual period.
Okay.
That's like the day when it's been a year.
Okay.
Actually, right. Boom.
Yeah.
That's menopause.
Right.
Okay. It's been a year, no cycle, no eggs release, no nothing.
Okay.
1 year. At this stage, the ovaries have stopped releasing eggs and producing most of their estrogen. Next, post-menopause. This is stage 3.
Okay.
This is the stage after menopause. During this time, menopausal symptoms such as hot flashes may ease for many people. However, some individuals may continue to experience symptoms for a decade.
Oh my goodness.
Or longer after menopause. So
wow.
You've got peri, you've got the menopause,
and then post.
And
they're all in the category of menopause.
Correct.
That's the umbrella term.
The umbrella term. Stages of the menopause timeline.
So let's go back.
Yes.
Let's go back.
Okay.
Back in the day. Right? So we have this worry-free, carefree relationship. You know what I'm saying? We humping around all the time. You know what I mean? We sleeping 12 hours. I mean, I've always had insomnia, so that's not necessarily the case. However, these things, the good old days, right?
I slept like a rock.
Yeah, you slept like a rock.
Sleep in 4 minutes.
You know, and we just didn't have to deal with all of the stuff that we're about to talk about. It wasn't even a thought.
Correct.
You know what I mean? And from a male perspective, definitely not, because I didn't even know the term perimenopause until you, right? So I've heard of menopause, of course. And then in my mind, menopause is this old lady thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So this is like, and I'm going to sound ridiculous here or whatever, but for the sake of entertainment, slightly. When the old ladies stop being able to make babies, it's menopause.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Largely, this is this adolescent kind of definition that we walked around with. So we're not thinking about, we're just coming from being 30, 40, 30s and stuff, out of our 30s into 40s or whatever. We're still young and dumb in the mind to an extent.
Yes.
Right? We're invincible. The good days are going to last forever. And then all of a sudden, you start noticing things.
Weird things.
You start noticing weird things. This is the shift. What did I notice about you?
Yeah, what did you notice?
Your sleep.
Yeah.
That was a big deal because you were like a professional sleeper.
I can sleep anywhere. At a concert, I
Y'all.
can sleep in front of a speaker.
Listen, y'all, I'm talking about, I don't care how good the movie is or what's going on, she's gonna go to sleep when it's time for her to go to sleep. When I started noticing your sleep, so it's a gradual thing, right? Mm-hmm. You know, because for someone who is so good at sleeping, and to hear you complaining about your sleep, is one thing, because it's like, dog, like you probably just had a bad night or a couple bad nights. You gotta relax. You, especially from a person with insomnia,
right?
I'm like, you don't know bad sleep.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And eventually, though, you have to acknowledge, like, her sleep is jacked. Mm-hmm. You know?
It was very jacked.
Sleep is jacked. And then these hot, I don't know, the hot flashes, I guess.
I started sweating.
Yeah. So I guess there's a difference between night sweats and hot flashes.
They're pretty much the same thing, but night sweats happen at night.
Right. It's just because it happens in the middle of your sleep.
Yes.
So you would wake up in the middle of your sleep, you know, soaking wet. Sometimes I find out about it in the morning.
Because you didn't. I tried to be really quiet and not disturb.
Sometimes I will wake up because my sleep is already crazy anyway, so it's not hard to wake me up, right? Yeah. Those are two major things that I noticed about you, and this is I guess when the discovery portion of this journey may have begun.
Yeah, because the other part for me is that nobody has ever mentioned anything about their sleep being jacked up with their symptoms. For as far as women in my family, it was just, I had hot flashes.
Hot flashes. That's one thing that I knew about menopause. Mm-hmm. Hot flashes.
Yeah, hot flashes.
You know?
Exactly. And then the other part that's twofold for me, I'm going to be very personal about my health. I had a hysterectomy at a very young age, before I was 30, which means I haven't had a cycle in over 20 years.
Right.
So normally an indicator would be that it's starting to pull back. And
it's great that you brought that up, because
I didn't have the indicators of my cycle changing,
right,
or being rapidly irregular, because I hadn't had one in over 20 years.
So how do you time it? How do you time the stages? If you don't have, you know what I'm saying?
It was very
different.
If
you got your, you know, you went electric, you got your engine taken out. You're electric now.
Yeah, I'm electric. Just gotta plug me in.
Plug you in.
That's it.
How do you time it? How do you time the stages?
You can't. For me, it was very difficult, because when I had the surgery back in my 20s, my surgeon, who was a godsend, he was saying, I'm going to do everything not to push you into early menopause.
Oh, wait a minute. Mm-hmm. How can he do that?
I don't know. It was just a conversation that we had. He said, I'm going to watch you to make sure, but he didn't remove the ovaries.
So
if he would have taken my ovaries,
you can trick the body into something.
If he would have done a complete hysterectomy, I would have gone into menopause immediately. But because only my uterus was removed and I still had my ovaries, I didn't have any symptoms. It was like every month the ovaries were still producing. Every month I was still having a cycle.
Wow.
All those things. And so then all of a sudden the sleep starts jacking up, and I'm like, wow, I don't know what this is.
You just thought your sleep was
I just thought my sleep was jacked up.
Right.
It never even occurred to me that I was having perimenopausal symptoms.
So it's crazy, because that's wild, and it makes sense to me. So, you know, if you snatch the ovaries out, I'm gonna use this crazy term. Pardon me, ladies. If you snatch the ovaries out, I guess you can trick the body into thinking that it's no longer has this function that is. You can push a person into perimenopause. We should look that up at some point.
You can push it. Your body will go into menopause, because the estrogen producing
mechanism
is no longer present.
Right.
Okay. So so he left them in specifically because he didn't want me to go into menopause early in my 20s.
So okay, so we're dealing with the hot flashes, the night sweats, and along with that, it's this weird thing that kind of still happens sometimes when you like cuddle up with me, your body like catches on fire.
Oh my Lord, yes. I don't know what that is about. My body does this crazy thing. Like it's just like what's her name?
I know. You know what I'm saying?
From
I
the
know.
X-Men.
I know who I am.
What's the one? Rogue.
Oh yeah, right.
I feel like I'm turned into Rogue.
Your
like,
body
all of a
catches on
sudden,
fire.
My body catches on fire. I don't know what.
Then you have to go. We have to stop for a second, and then you cool down, and then it doesn't happen again.
Yes.
So I don't know if that's a perimenopausal attached type of thing, or maybe we just shared some personal shit that's just us.
Yeah, that's just my body being crazy.
maybe just into the kid. You know what I'm saying?
Hot.
Yeah, there you
hot
go.
For you.
Hot. I'm just, yeah, right.
Yeah, hot for you.
So all right. So there's the hot flashes and stuff. There's the sleep, and then gradually, it's hard. I don't know if I noticed. I don't know how much this is a noticing thing, but the drive. Yes, I did notice it. The drive changed, right?
Yeah.
Because we had a system.
Tell it.
Our business. We had a system.
We have
right?
a sex system.
We have a system. She goes to warm the car up. I'm driving. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you, dear. In a mechanical sort of way. Yes.
Let me make my little analogies, my little similes, and so on and so forth. Right? So, but it worked for us, right? So then I find myself having to go warm the car up sometimes. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not, you're
not used to this.
Yeah, I still got
I'm not a mechanic.
I'm not a mechanic. I'm a driver. I got my CDL. You know what I'm saying? Let's drive this thing.
Yeah.
But I noticed the gradual change in that. And we had conversations. That, when I had no idea about perimenopause, and maybe even after you discovered the perimenopause thing, or you got smart about it, I just didn't have any clue, and I brought it up in conversation, like, yo, what's going on, type of thing.
Is everything all right?
Yeah. So those are the things that I noticed and whatnot. Now there are a bunch of symptoms, right? And I want to go through these just to check them off of whether they fall into the Trina category or not. Right?
Can I get the Tinkerbell?
right. I'm gonna save that. That for something. Okay. Let me see here. So the relationship effect, aloofness a little bit, but I don't know if that's really tied so much. But the sleep, less sex, and then of course when you have the sexual or intimacy, let's use that word.
Okay.
Intimacy dynamic start changing a little bit. We just talked about resentment, and I'm not saying that this is that. Right. We talked about resentment. We talked about sexless relationships. The humans, we're very simple. You know what I'm saying? So when you start seeing the changes, sometimes you can get a little I can get a little standoffish, and whatnot. You know what I mean? Like, because it's like, I think I feel good about myself. I'm confident and stuff like that. But when she's not doing what she used to do, then you start maybe even having a little doubt or pull back yourself. You know what I mean?
And that's when I went and investigated more. Like, I had to go have some conversations with medical professionals about what was going on.
About to get there.
Okay.
So let's see. And it said, changes in mood, energy, sleep, patience, and affection can make the marriage feel unfamiliar, even when the love hasn't changed. And that is pretty spot on. Yeah. Because it wasn't felt like anything was in danger or anything like that. You know what I mean?
I was very much frustrated with myself.
Right.
Remember, I was so frustrated.
Yes.
What is wrong with me? I'm not sleeping. I'm grumpy. I'm feeling crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
So here are some of the symptoms.
Yes.
And if these first two, we've already answered for you guys, but we're still going to say them.
Yeah.
Irregular periods or skipping periods, or periods that are heavier or lighter than usual. Trina does not have those.
Lord, my menses are all on the YouTube, the Instagram, the everything.
What menses? You don't have them.
Very
Y'all see this? Y'all see this face? All right. I'm a little silly, y'all.
Lord.
Changes in mood like irritability, depression, or mood swings. Now, listen, if any of these hit that I just maybe didn't recognize myself, you know what I'm saying? You could have been feeling these yourself and
Yes,
not.
I would say I felt like an anxiety type of thing of what's, what is happening with me. In that time period, I also was diagnosed with ADHD.
Yes.
While all this was also going
That's
on.
why I said the aloofness. I don't know if it's really tied to the perimenopause thing, because I remember the ADHD thing coming up too.
Yeah. So, and a lot of times with women often getting diagnosed with ADHD later in age.
Yeah.
And then it's happening around the time of perimenopause. So is it
It's crazy.
really ADHD?
What is it? Right.
Or
right.
is it, so I had that going on. So getting a good script
Yeah.
that helped.
Good script. Like a good script when you get into 50 years old, 51 script. You know what I'm saying? Changing mood like irritability, depression, mood swings, low libido,
Yes.
right? Hot flashes, night sweats. We talked about that. Vaginal dryness,
Never.
and that's I'm gonna leave that there. Urinary urgency, needing to pee more frequently. Shit, I might have perimenopause if that's the case, nigga. A wise man said, never pass up an opportunity to eat or use the bathroom. And I don't.
Mercy, he never.
But no, I don't think you had those issues.
None of those.
And sleep problems, insomnia.
Listen.
You had that showed up in your life, changed your whole life.
I had a dark year.
The dark year.
Yes.
So it's a blessing that you didn't necessarily have all those symptoms. But you had to deal with what you had.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And I acknowledge, and being able to gather data. Shout out to my Apple Watch.
Yeah.
I gathered the data to show that I was definitely having the issues.
We talked about this a little bit on the pod. You are a professional doctor goer, whatever you want to call it.
I
yo.
use my
You
benefits.
Don't play around with your charts, with your whatever they call. What they call eye chart?
My chart. Yes.
Charts. Her and her doctor be texting on the weekends. Y'all might have gone to the movies before together. I don't even know.
We should.
You know what I'm saying?
It's really important to have that kind of open door relationship with your doctor so that you're comfortable with expressing, hey, this is what I feel, or this is what I think is going on, or this is the data that I have. This is how much sleep I'm averaging. This is how many times I'm waking up. I'm soaked at night.
Right.
And then you got to tell more than one doctor on top of all of that.
Right.
Because I have multiple physicians.
So did you have any difficulties in that area with any doctors kind of being dismissive, or was it pretty much a smooth ride?
So because I had thyroid issues, my endocrinologist was just kind of real dismissive at first about it. And then when I talked to my GYN,
well, hold up. Why? Because symptoms?
Yeah, because
are
the
similar?
symptoms are similar. So they kind of cross over to other things, like with my hypothyroidism. So she was just like, well, maybe you should just change your thyroid dose, but that could be something.
You would think that a woman coming to you at this age, at the age of, perimenopause, so on and so forth, whatnot, that they would be jumping all over it.
Well, the range also is so different for every woman. There's not a lot of medicine on women in perimenopause. There's not a lot of medical data or studies on women and the menopausal cycle system. There's just not a lot. So it's kind of like a crapshoot. Oh, well, you're probably in.
Right.
Oh, you might be. Or you're too young. Could possibly be that.
Right.
And then by the time we did get around, some of my hormone levels looked normal at one point, and then 6 months later, they looked completely different.
Yeah, it's
so
crazy.
when I first was talking to my endocrinologist, she said, "Well, all your labs look normal."
And they like to do that.
They love to say that shit. They love it. And then I got a functional practitioner.
Okay, you know that she was on my mind. So when that came into play.
That came into play because of the high flashes and me just feeling stir crazy.
Right.
That finding a functional practitioner to assist me and do some other lab work, like a Dutch test, the urine test. We did hair samples. We did all these things to learn about what the actual what a 24-hour cycle in my body was looking like.
Right.
A hormonal thing of what I was releasing, what was my, what was going on with my body by doing all these different tests. And that helped to further paint the picture of what was going on.
So was the functional practitioner driven by the perimenopause, or was it driven by your other stuff that you had going on? Or
it was my thyroid.
The thyroid.
Originally, it was my thyroid because moving back into the DMV, my thyroid numbers started getting crazy again. And of course, I was eating meat again, but that's a whole nother thing. But it just seemed like I wasn't sleeping well. Things were just kind of going downhill.
Right.
And I thought it was all that. And then when we did the work, she's like, well, this actually could be perimenopause that you're going through right now, and you just didn't know it because I didn't have any cycles.
So do you know offhand the they say a woman's peak for like sex drive?
I don't know.
Hold on, let me look that up real quick.
And for me, it's been forever.
Let me see. Sex drive peak age.
38.
They're saying between 27 and 45. So basically you're shooting up during those years, right? And then right on the end of that, you go into perimenopause.
But that's not necessarily true. Well, yes.
Not necessarily every woman, of course.
Not necessarily. Some women start way earlier. Some women, estrogen levels just start dipping
Jesus
very early.
Christ.
And don't forget about the progesterone and the testosterone levels. They're also in play. They also play a part in our hormonal makeup and how our bodies function.
I was interested in so from a husband's perspective, right? When you started researching perimenopause, I was, I'm not gonna say I was fascinated by it, but it was interesting. I love science and stuff like that. So I was engaged. I was just asking a lot of questions and stuff like that. And and we'll get into the support piece on part 2 of this, because this is the part 2 series. We want to talk about this, but we want the men to have a little representation out there because men are dealing with different things like egos. Right, you know what I'm saying? So mostly ego, right? So when a woman, when the sex drive, kind of dips and whatnot, or when things are just not, and we dealing with routine, and we like things to, everybody like a little bit of routine, right?
There's certain things you're just used to.
You're just used to certain things, and whatever. When those things stop happening, you start searching for reasons why. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And if you don't, like for us, we were fortunate to have very healthy communication in our relationship. But if you don't, you can slip into episode 29 or episode 28, which is resentment and sexless marriage.
Yeah, you got to have open lines of communication. And also, I think another problem is just education. If you remember back in the day with health education, some schools would separate the boys from the girls. Health ed, the girls would go off back in the day to one class, and the boys would go into another class to learn about sex ed. They wouldn't be together.
Oh shoot, really?
Yeah, some schools did that. They would separate. It wasn't always, but then there's health education, or I forgot what they call it now. It might be sex ed now, but there's not a lot of talk about this part. There's a lot of talk about not getting pregnant, STDs, the actual birth cycle, and the sperm in the egg and all that kind of stuff. But this piece, the menopause piece of that's for when the woman is done. She's just like thrown away. Like,
oh my gosh,
she's just the old lady.
She's right.
There's no use for her
There's
anymore.
no use for her anymore. That's crazy.
But that's how science and medicine seems to look at this piece of things.
Do you know historically where those terms lined up? Like, menopause we've known about for a long time, but I just never heard the term perimenopause. Was that scientifically? Do you know if that was a later discovery?
That was not talked about when that term came about.
No, back in the days, black and white TV and shit like that. You hear that term?
elders ever said
Perimenopause.
perimenopause to me. Nobody has ever said it. It seems like with this generation of folks, the Gen X people, they got a whole lot more explanation. It's a whole lot more.
There's something for everything.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't want to put this in that category because it's a serious thing.
We're like investigative journalists. We're not going to settle on just it's menopause. Nah, it's something else. And we've pushed the envelope on further explanation to what we're experiencing.
Because I wrote on the board, like, what's the difference between perimenopause and menopause? I didn't know until a few minutes ago. You know what I mean? I thought all these things were menopause. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And then menopause is just like the day at the 1 year mark when you're not having your egg releasing anything. And then after that, everything after that is postmenopause. So I've been postmenopausing for who knows?
Hold on, you think you're postmenopausal now?
Yeah, I've been past
I
don't know when the day happened.
Right.
But according to my doctor, my what's her name? Her GYN.
Yeah.
She just said, yeah, you're postmenopausal now.
Wow. So I have a few notes here. A few things. So speaking to so many things going on at the same time.
Yeah.
Right?
That's how I feel, my body.
Yeah, exactly. The body changing, relationships are steady evolving. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? So you're already going from the, like, as we talked about previously on other episodes, having the living in one location, living in that location, having, sex every time you see each other. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna cook for you. We're gonna have sex every single time. So then you have the getting married, living together, which that dynamic, you know what I'm saying, may or may not change a little bit and whatnot, but I think most times it changes. Yeah. Because now you're living in the same household. You don't have that spark of doing the things that we used to do at her house or do the things that we used to do at my house. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Now you're going into your settled in married couple thing and then just throw perimenopause on top of it.
A disaster.
It could be.
No, I appreciate how you were so supportive as I was investigating and trying to figure out what the hell is going on with my body. I went through so many doctor's appointments and so many follow-ups, so many other second opinions. The functional practitioner, taking the information that I got from the functional practitioner back to my doctors to say, hey, well, have you looked at this? Well, what about this? What about that? And finally getting everybody on board to the fact the functional practitioner was the one who helped me to get the estrogen patch initially so I could stop having the hot flashes.
Ooh, that's right. Yeah.
She was the one.
Yeah.
She was the one that took.
She was the truth. I was pro her.
Yes.
Because I just saw, what I'm saying? What, and so this whole functional practitioner thing, just to make it clear for folks, you went outside of your network and insurance and stuff and to get this woman and just paid.
I used my flexible spending money to pay for the functional practitioner to give me the assistance that I could not get from my GYN, my primary care, and my endocrinologist.
She was a woman out in like Wyoming or something, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was in the Midwest somewhere. Right. Yeah.
So never met her in person, just discussed online.
She had some modules and some questionnaires for me to do, and we did the tests. She had kits for me to take. There were some labs I had to go get. Yep. I had to do a stool sample test.
I wasn't gonna bring it up. I thought about it though. That's serious.
Yeah, there was a lot. I mean, we confirmed my gluten intolerance. Yeah. All that stuff. Like, we did so much work that doctors often like to say, oh, well, it's junk science. It's not real because they're not real doctors.
Don't let them fool you, yo. You know what I'm saying? Because the system, of course, and I'm going to get off of my little, my thing in a second. But the system is set up to keep you on drugs. Yes. That's it. They pumping drugs. You go to the doctor or ER, whatever, they're doing things to get more money. Right? They're keeping you in ER I just had a conversation with my sister about this the other day. They're gonna keep you there for about 5 hours.
Minimum. Remember they tell you they gotta keep you there for a certain number of hours. You be there for 5 hours. Right? So they're gonna get that insurance money. And so as far as these doctors are concerned, they're just gonna pump you with drugs. You know what I'm saying? And be dismissive of a lot of stuff unless you get a good doctor. Right. I've had good doctors in my life. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm sure you have. So I don't know, like for the fellas out there or
in a relationship with someone going through these things, or the ladies who are going through it, don't be afraid to step outside of that infrastructure, that system, to get true help for yourself.
And sometimes you gotta pay for another opinion.
Yeah.
Not only did I do a functional practitioner, but I also went through Hone Health, and Hone Health was the ones that helped me get my drug cocktail together, so to speak, for my hormones.
Yeah.
They were the ones that got me the hormones
Yeah.
that I needed for looking at my labs and telling me my testosterone was actually low. Looking at the labs and telling me that my progesterone was actually low, although the doctors said it was in normal limits. But
Right.
when I went outside of them, I was told, well, actually, it's a little low, and that could
Right.
be affecting your libido. That's affecting your sex drive. How are you doing with your sex drive? I was like, man, my sex drive is like in the gutter. I was like, it takes forever for me to like wake it up. What's going on?
You used to, you know what I'm saying? That corner 3 was money.
Ooh,
That's like turning your back on the shot. It's going in.
not even looking.
He's like, what do you mean it didn't go in?
Exactly. And so then once I got the cocktail of the testosterone, the progesterone, and the estrogen in my body, I started feeling normal.
Again, I had never heard of a woman dealing with testosterone until
And it's
until
such
all
a
this.
little teeny
Of course.
tiny dose.
My baby had no mustache, nothing.
And he won't shoot me in the butt. I try to get him to
No,
help me.
I ain't
and
shoot nobody.
me in the butt, and he won't do it. So I got to do it myself, and it's hard. You got to like twist and
You
contort.
get it
You got
done.
to contort your body to get the testosterone in. But
You got enough booty back there to reach it.
thank you. But that can affect your libido, and the progesterone can impact your sleep.
Yeah.
So having that cocktail plus the patch
Mm-hmm.
for the estrogen, it really, really helps. You're not going to be 100% back yourself,
Mm-hmm.
the old 25-year-old self, but you're going to at least have little help to just bring it up a little bit, so you're not like in the pits of hell.
Look, man, I mean, I can relate to a degree. Like, with my sleep, I do about 3, 4, sometimes 5 things, it feels like, at night, just every day, just to go to sleep. Like right now, I'm, at 6 o'clock pretty much, I'm taking THC oil and I'm doing trazodone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just to help me when it's time to go to bed, I can get to sleep. And it really works. It really works. I get to sleep. Now I still might wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, stuff like that. But the whole point is, it's crazy how we have to do 3, 4, 5 things just to maintain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is the
But this is the phase we're in.
this is the phase that we're in. We saw our grandparents with all the orange bottles with the white tops. Now we got them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now we got them.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be on a whole bunch of drugs and stuff like that. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do
Right.
to get to it.
We don't have to suffer through it like our elders did.
Right.
We don't.
There's
have
more information
to.
out there
There's more
now.
information.
Yeah.
There's more assistance, and that goes even for the young ladies who are dealing with cramps and all that stuff. It doesn't have to be like a badge of honor that every month you are cramped up and laid up somewhere and you can't go to work and all these things because of your reproductive system failing you. Actually, there are things to assist you so that you don't have to go through that.
Right. So here's the thing. I have a thing about when you're not feeling well.
Yeah.
Where I want to let you heal. I'll use a strong word. Yeah. I'll let you heal before I try to like take advantage of any type of opportunity to have sex or anything like that. It's a tricky thing because I'm teetering as a husband or as a male in a relationship. I'm teetering on this line of, do I give her space and time to deal with whatever she got going on, or what? I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
You still try to get it
because I feel guilty
right.
if I'm trying to have this type of activity with you when you're not feeling good.
Right. But I'm clear. Like I'm upfront. Like, yo,
you be lying though. You be like, I'm fine.
Oh, sometimes
and I be like, no, you're not.
I be one,
yeah, I know, because you be one, but you be, you know what I'm saying? And not just the perimenopause piece, but just in general, she'll be lying about when she not feeling good. She'll just lie like,
because
I'm fine.
I won't tell him, because if I tell him, then nothing's gonna happen. He gonna be like, oh, you need to lay down, you need to rest, you need to chill. Let's just watch TV. And I'll be like, yo,
right. Right. And definitely, like, I'm not sitting here giving you advice about what to do about your perimenopause and shit like that, or what to try. I'm just following your lead because you don't need that. Look, you're on it. You know what I'm saying? You're reaching out to doctors and shit like that. So, it is I'm sure that there's other husbands out there, boyfriends or whatever you want to call it, who had that feeling like, you know what I'm saying? Do I lean in or do I give her some space?
What's the word? There's a balance. You can do it. You can lean. You can do both. You can help. You can lean in, and you can give support and give space when needed. I think there can be a healthy balance of it. And just the lines of communication have to be open so that you understand what's going on with your partner. That's
again the key with everything, right? Communication.
And it's not always the easiest thing. Some people are culturally raised in ways that you don't talk about women's business. Men don't want to know about women's business, or women don't feel comfortable sharing with a man. But if it's your partner, it's your spouse, and if he's hitting it, then you need to tell him what's going on.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Honestly.
Right.
Reproductive organs are a part of the relationship.
It is, yeah.
So
for sure,
you got to talk about it. And then for me, like, as I was going through all of this stuff, it just only made sense for me to go and get like a wellness certification and then do the menopause thing and do the sleep thing so that I could just wrap my head around what was really going on, so that when I spoke to professionals, I knew a little bit more.
Yeah, so let's talk about that, right? This turning point, right?
Yes.
When you discover, do you remember the moment you discovered, oh, this is a perimenopause situation going on?
The functional practitioner.
The functional practitioner went in.
Because she said your estrogen. She's like, there was something that we did. Oh, I wish I could have looked at I had to look at my old laptop, but I saved it. That showed my estrogen dominance, and then there was something else going on, and then that's when we went to the GYN about my estrogen levels, and that's how the whole thing started. It was the functional practitioner. I was having the sweating in my sleep, and I was just like, well, I'm just sweating in my sleep some nights. It's not all the nights.
Right.
And you know what it was doing? It was happening once every 6 months. I remember I was writing the night sweats. There was a point in time where they would come and go every 6 months.
Oh, for a period of time during that time.
It would come and it would stay for like a week or two.
So crazy.
I had it in my notebook. I was tracking it, and I was like, okay, how many months ago? Okay, June, it's back. January, it happened in January. Okay, it's back in June, and I was like, okay, but then it started to continue.
Right.
It was lingering.
Right. It was some times where it was like
a whole
whooping
summer.
your ass.
The whole summer. I was sweating.
Right.
Sweating the whole summer. And by December, we finally got it to the point where, okay, I got the patch. Then we noticed, okay, it worked for a little bit, but then they came back. We had to up the dose. And that's something that women don't, doctors should also be in communication that, hey, let me know how it is in 30 days. Check back in. That's exactly what my doctor did. She was like, check back in 30 days. Let's see how it is. How do you feel in 30 days? Did it come back? Is everything good? Because we might have to raise it again.
Right. We didn't have this problem, but what you're saying right now makes me think, and it sounds funny, but seriously, I wonder if some women go through having like body odor and stuff like that from having so much of the sweats.
The sweats and things.
You didn't have that.
Body chemistry does change.
Right.
Some deodorant might not work no more.
You
might gotta pump it up.
Right.
Like to the high powered one, come in the white boxes, the
deodorant
secret and the secret.
Oh, the clinical joints.
The clinical.
Yeah.
You might have to move to the clinical.
Yeah.
And it's your body composition.
Is go back to that aluminum. Right.
Yeah, it's changing, and you gotta lock it down. I used acidified body washes. I'm OCD anyway.
I don't even know what that is. Acidified body wash.
Yeah, it gets away the bacteria on your body.
Oh, you stripping everything.
It's gone.
It's like, okay, all right. I'm always
that's the particular soap that I be ordering. The one that I had you order the other day. I'd get the bar and I get a body wash.
That's the stuff they gave me to prepare for my surgery on my foot. It felt like the Sahara Desert once I cleaned my feet with it.
You got to get the right kind. So like the one that I use Lume.
It's not a commercial for Lume.
It's not a commercial for Lume, but I use the soap and I use the body wash.
I can dig it.
The deodorant as well.
But that's a serious thing though, right? I'm sure that there may be women going through that.
The sweat was different.
Right, the sweat is one thing, but
the funk.
Yeah, you didn't have that. You didn't have that.
Because I be watching for it. Because
Right.
I clean, I'll take 3 showers in a day. But once I learned about the acidified body wash, I was like, oh, this is what I need.
Right.
And everything changed because the Dove stuff just wasn't working to
Right.
me. The caress. None of those were
Caress.
working. I had to get some high-powered soap. 'Cause
High-powered, right.
You can throw on as much deodorant as you want,
Ain't gonna
but
work.
you gotta like get up in there. And I'm sweating under my boobs. I'm a double D cup. I can't be having
Whoa.
Oh,
No,
okay.
y'all see it. Y'all see it.
So I had to get the right.
So back on track. So the
Yes.
turning point. So you discovered during the functional practitioner thing.
Mm-hmm.
So for you, and I'm sure my memory is crazy. So I
Yes.
remember things about the distance to the moon and shit like that. But those periods of time, I don't remember. I'm sure you came right to me with
I
the information
did.
as soon as you got it,
I
right?
did. Remember when we found that I had heel spurs too? Remember it was all like around that time?
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
don't remember. It was all around that time, but I
Okay.
take your word for it.
Okay.
Because your memory is like a steel trap. So how did you feel?
I felt like finally somebody was helping me and I wasn't crazy.
Yeah.
Because I was starting to feel like I was going crazy.
Yeah.
I was really in a place of the sleep deprivation is a real thing. It will mess with your work.
Everything.
It'll mess with your productivity. And in that line of work at that time that I was doing, I was reading data, spreadsheets, information, and I couldn't afford to not be able to focus.
Yeah.
Because I was tired.
Yeah.
And I was tired.
Yeah.
Like I was not sleeping. As a person who normally does 8 to 10, I'm usually getting a good sleep. Mm-hmm. To going down to 5 and 4,
Yeah.
I was sleep deprived.
Yeah, and that has effects in the day to day around the household too. Remembering to eat, or even feeling like cooking.
Or just no desire.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, can we just order something?
Right. And as a husband, it's like, but I want your food, and it's better for us.
Yes,
but you have to have, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a did you? I'm going to ask you a question. I don't know how to ask it, but did you have any thought? I know you were in the middle of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Did you have any thoughts on how it may be impacting your husband?
Absolutely. I spoke about it with my doctor.
Right.
I said, well, I was talking about my low sex drive.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't want him to think that I don't want him.
Right.
I was saying, like, I was like, I'm really concerned because I've just, like, everything is just it's dead. It's silent. Like, nothing is working. And she's like, well, we're just gonna have to get you some hormones. You need a pump up.
Right.
And I was like, okay, because I don't like this. This is crazy.
Right.
And then the sleep thing, when I was like, I never want to disrupt your sleep because you already have sleep issues.
It's so tough, right?
So for me to have the sleep, and I'm trying not to like disturb you. I always would think about the nights that I was sweating and I needed to like put a towel down under
Yes.
I was drenched. My PJs were soaked straight through.
Right.
And so I was worried that you were going to get, number one, sleep interruptions. Then I was worried about...
It happens sometimes, for sure.
I was worried about the sex thing because I knew what our sex lives were. And I didn't want this to be the start of the downhill. Like, oh, hell no.
Not that early, right?
Right. And so those were the things. And then, but I felt like once I got the ADHD diagnosis, which also happened around that time, you were so supportive in understanding that I had a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on.
And you were just really supportive.
Yeah, and then it's funny like how God made us.
Yeah.
Right? Because we spoke earlier about a woman's peak, sexual
Yeah.
peak, right? And so then you hit this peak, and then right up there you're heading into perimenopause, right?
Yeah.
At the same time that a man sex drive is probably lessening a little bit. So he does kind of meet you at this location somehow that make things kind of work.
We kind of cross.
Right. So it's like her sex drive has dwindled, right, for this period of time. And younger me would have been like, what the hell is going on here? Older me is like, all right, I got patience for this. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I love the intimacy and all these things, whatever. But, I'm going to give you a few days.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then after a while, it's like, hey, everything all right. So it's just interesting from a biological standpoint how those roads meet at some point.
And unfortunately, a lot of relationships end during perimenopause or menopause because folks are having so many different things and problems going on, and they just feel like, screw it, I don't need to deal with you no more anyway, so I'm out. So.
Yeah, especially if they don't identify what's going on. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And some people have extreme mood swings. The tolerance for things is really low.
Yeah.
And my tolerance is already low. Ask my kids. Like, I have my moments where I'm like, what the
right. Right.
So that's also a thing. You notice a lot of I forgot what they call the menopause divorces. They call it something.
Oh,
but
shit. They got a
there's
name
a thing
for it.
because women get to a certain point and they're like, you know what? I ain't got time for it no more. Maybe it is best for us to
the woman?
Yeah. A lot of times women are ending relationships during their menopause period, during their menopause.
Because they feel inept or what?
No, just because they don't feel like putting up with the bullshit from the husband.
Well, so a husband like a non-understanding husband, a non-supportive husband type of thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
right.
Dip on out. Just like we can just kick it right.
I think and I think we'll wrap in a second, right? Because this is getting us to the support point. We keep bouncing around the support because that's part 2.
Yeah.
But I think you can be most successful during these periods of time if your foundation is already strong in a relationship.
True.
You know what I mean?
But there's so much happening during this time period for many. Maybe the children are leaving the house. Empty nest, new things.
Damn right.
Career changes are happening.
Yeah.
Maybe new retirement is on the horizon. Maybe there's financial things that are going on. Maybe a family member is elderly and ill, or you're becoming a caretaker for a parent or things like that. There's so much that happens in this time period for our age bracket.
Yeah.
There's a lot of change, and people who are navigating those roads may feel like, one thing is more important than the other.
Fellas, I hope we were able to help a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And kind of like at least let you know that you're not alone in it. And ladies, you know what I'm saying? Same for y'all. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you really you're not alone in this. And if you had more questions or anything, points, like anything to add on to the conversation, please comment or send us something, and you know what I'm saying, we'll talk about it if it makes sense for the show. And I think we can conclude this piece for the YouTubers because we have more to talk about for the Patreon folks. But I'll leave it. Do you have anything else to add before I cliffhang this?
Oh, cliffhang it. Go ahead.
Cliffhang this.
Roll it in.
Who's supporting the husband when the husband is supporting the wife?
Oh.
And that's what we'll talk about a little bit when we get to the support piece.
Okay.
On the next episode of Married, Mature, and Unfiltered. YouTubers, we'll see you around the way. Patreon folks, let's continue talking.
Uncovering it all. Married, mature, and unfiltered. Yes, real. Humor and honesty and thrills. Guaranteed to give you chill.